where the wrestling truth resides.
JP, we missed you last week.
Yeah, I know. It's been a rough couple weeks.
Yeah. You don't have to go into detail, but we were wanted to hear the story of you having to drive
Matt Riddle.
Riddle.
God, I drove Riddle and Kalisto.
Yeah, how did that go?
It was fun. It was an interesting ride. I picked them up at the Bangor International Airport, and they were coming from one of the. I think Riddle was coming from Florida, and Kalisto was coming out of North Carolina. I'm pretty sure, and they both were on the same flight, so they both got there at the same time. And I had Kalisto's number so that he could talk to me as he getting out of the airport. They come out of the airport, get in the car. As soon as Matt comes out of the door, it was a very windy day that day, so the wind was like blustering right through the terminal, and he walks out through the sliding door, and you see, I didn't realize how tall he was. He's taller than me, and he just walks out and he goes, he's like 100, 200 feet down the aisleway, and he goes, "What the fuck?" He's in just and flip flops with no socks on. I'm having flashbacks to picking up Cruel in the middle of February, and he was wearing short shorts. And I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" So, and then you have Kalisto bundled up in a snowsuit like jacket, and I was like, "This man came prepared." It's like,
Kalisto probably looked at the weather and went, "I'm going to wear it. It's going to be what?"
Anyways, I never finished my Matt Riddle story.
Yeah,
sorry,
finish your Matt Riddle story.
Anyways, yeah, we got in the car. And me, like, obviously knowing Riddle's history and past, I'm just like, man, he's probably going to want to go to the dispensary or something. Because we're in a state where there's as many dispensaries as there are Dunkin' Donuts in Massachusetts. There's one in every fucking corner.
Exactly.
So we get in.
God forbid you have flavored tobacco in Bangor, though.
God forbid.
God forbid.
Right, exactly. So
flavored tobacco is bad, guys.
Small chit chat, whatever, and he's talking about his flight, and just the first things out of Matt's mouth, because it's how Matt Riddle talks. He talks just like he does in promo, his gimmick. He lives his gimmick fully, and he was just telling me, he's like, some of the women out here in these flights, they got some sort of look, and I was like, really? And he goes, yeah. I didn't say it was a good look, but it was some sort of look, and it was kind of honestly terrifying as hell. I was like, damn. He's like, no, there's some nice looking chicks out here. And then like we started getting into conversations about like living like economy up here versus down there. And like I was telling him, like, yeah, there's plenty of land up here to buy. You could buy land up here for dirt cheap. Like it's cheaper to buy land up here than to rent or buy a house at this rate. And like he's sitting there and he's like listening to me talk, and he just goes, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. He's like, maybe I could talk to my wife. Maybe we can move up here. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Like, he was just like, wife, girlfriend. He said wife. And then, dude, that's where the stem of the conversation just keeps going. He told me he has 5 kids with like 4 different baby mamas. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
Is he working you or is he serious?
He is Stefan Diggs. No, he does. He showed me pictures of his kids. He's Stefan Diggs, bro. Except he's not having babies with like, Cardi B or Nicki Minaj or, Beyonce or whatever. But like,
Beyonce.
But like he's doing it with some of them women down there, I guess. But no, he has like 5 kids. His oldest is an adult, and his youngest is like probably just out of diapers. He's got a wide range. He's also 39.
I was gonna say he's like our age.
He's turning 40 this year or next year. So, but yeah, no. So I was like, all right, boys, you need anything before we go? And he just looks at me and goes, can we go to the dispensary? And I was like, absolutely. We can go wherever you want.
Please tell me you looked at him and go, which one?
So before I could, he actually, when he got off, when they were sitting and taxiing into the airport, he actually was looking up dispensaries, and he goes, I saw this one that's like not that far from here. It's called Faux King. And he's like, yeah, I'm only picking that because it just says Faux King. And that's fucking hilarious. I'm like, great. So we went over there to do the Outer Hammond road. And we go over there. I almost couldn't find it because it's on the back end of one of those tire warehouse buildings. It's just like way back in the middle of nowhere. You couldn't see it from the road. And so we go there. I don't go inside because I'm just like, I don't do any of that shit like that. It's just whatever. So him and Kalisto go in, and they're in there for, I want to say 25, almost 30 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck are they doing in there? There's no way. And that's what I thought. So out comes Kalisto. He doesn't come out with anything. And I'm like, why the fuck is he in there then? Out comes Matt. Matt has like 5 fucking bags with him. And he gets in the car and he goes, yeah, they had this fucking dab rig for $50. They had this deal for buy 3, get 2 free. And it was like, I was like, oh, but I'm like, how are you going to get any of, he had like 5 bags. I go, how are you going to bring all that shit with you back home? And he goes, brother, I'm going to use all this shit before I get out there. I'm like, Jesus,
it's going to be gone by the time he gets back.
And no, what he said though is that he ships things to his house all the time when he travels. So he probably like packaged up the dab rig and like mailed it out to his house.
Yeah, probably did that. The rig,
but like the other stuff he had was just consumables, so like he had consumed at some point in 24 hours, less than 24 hours.
Oh my god, that sounds like my wife.
The shit that he got, and at one point he got some sort of dab stuff for his pen that he had, and he had smoked almost the entire fucking pen before we got to Augusta. I was like, Jesus Christ! The window was down like the whole fucking ride. So we leave the fucking the dispensary, and I was like, all right, do you guys want to get any food before we go down? And he's like, yeah, we'll go get some food. And like by the time I decided this, I already was like crossing the 395 threshold. So I was like, fuck. I was like, we're not even going to be going towards Bangor. I was already on 95 at this point. So I was like, all right, we're going to go stop at Dysart's because that's fucking iconic. We'll do that. So we go to Dysart's, pull in, and Matt's just looking at the place, and he goes, this is like a fucking truck stop. And I was like, yeah, this is actually like Maine's like most notable like truck stop and shit like that. And he goes, oh shit, we're at a fucking landmark. And he's just like over exaggerating everything. And I'm like, what the fuck? Dude's great, but he's just like, he's out of his fucking mind the way he's talking. So we go into Dysart's. Kalisto has been talking this whole time too. Chill as fucking dude. Very fluent English. Very like I was surprised at how well his English was.
One question because I'm very curious. Was Kalisto in gimmick?
He was not. He did not come to the airport and gimmick. He was all just as himself. And
let's say Dorado did that to us at a show where he was out of gimmick, and we had no idea it was him.
If he wasn't with Matt Riddle, I wouldn't have fucking known it was him coming out of the fucking door, because he texted me and was like, yeah, me and Matt are walking out through the terminal door, and I see a dude in a puff coat, like with aviator glasses on. You can tell he's as Spanish and Mexican as can be. Then you see 6'5" like bright ass purple fucking hair, red bright Puma track suit and fucking flip flops walk out. And when fucking Matt walks, I didn't notice this until we walked into Dysart's. I turned around and Riddle is doing the fucking walk that he does to the ring in his entrances, like the fucking the wide fucking. I'm not fucking kidding. And I almost had to look away and chuckle because he literally was walking like this out. I was like, what the fuck is he doing, dude?
So, did he have a signed contract with like WWE where he's allowed to smoke weed?
At the time, I don't think so.
I don't know how he got away with smoking weed and not getting fucking like hit with the
wellness policy actually took weed out of it actually a few years back.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he was still with them at that point, but he and he told me this story. He's the reason why Randy Orton smokes weed now. Yeah, he goes, Randy never touched a single fucking drug in his life until he met me. And then when he met me, I shared a pen with him once, and he looked at me, and like you can imagine Orton's expression. Like, remember the fucking episode of one of the shows where like he's fucking wafting his fucking nose, and he like smells that shit, and he like calls it out. That was him essentially the first time he ever sniffed it, and he took a hit once from Matt Riddle, and that, from then on, every time him and Matt Riddle ever were doing like they were tag team champs and whatever, he would always bring him fucking supplies. So, and he's like, yeah, I'm the reason why Orton gets high all the time now. I'm like, that's fucking wild, dude.
That is.
But yeah, so we go to Dysart.
Can you tell these stories, by the way, before we continue?
Can we tell these stories? I think so. He didn't say I couldn't say any. There were a few just.
Oh, but did you mention that you were on a podcast?
All of a sudden, Randy Orton's on the phone, like, "Hey guys."
Guys, now there was a few things he told me. He was like, "Oh, this stays between us," so like, I won't discuss those. But yeah, we went into Dysart's and we went and grabbed food. And like, I walk into the place with them, and I was like, "Yeah, so all your food and shit's over there. The stuff's already." He looks at me and goes, "Oh, you're giving us the whole grand tour." And I was like, "It's just a fucking truck stop, man. It's not anything crazy." So they went and got their food and whatever, and I'm looking around and I'm looking for Kalisto. I was like, where the fuck is his name? Kalisto's name is Emmanuel. Wow, I'm terrible with fucking Spanish names. Manny was his name. So like he was referred to as Manny. So we're looking around. We're like, where's Manny? And just out loud, Riddle just goes, "Oh, he's probably one of those aisles because he's short as fuck. He's fucking short as hell." He's like, he's just probably short as fuck, and he's probably just trifling through those fucking aisles. I'm like, great. Cool. I'm looking around and I just
Did anybody know it was like Matt Riddle was fucking?
Oh, just wait. So
that's one of my normal truck stops.
This is the first time I've ever experienced this from the like third person perspective. The guy, he's cashing out Riddle, and the cashier's like scanning each thing. He grabbed like a bunch of shit. He starts scanning things, and then he just like looks up, looks down, scans. He keeps looking up and down, and then he just stops. And he just looks at him and pauses and goes, "Are you Matt Riddle?" And Matt Riddle just looks at him and just goes, "Bro!" And he just like daps him up. Just fucking like nerdy fucking cash register dude. And he just daps him up. And he was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Can I get a picture?" And he just like whips out his phone. And I took the phone, and I'm the guy. I'm the fucking dude that's like, "All right, say cheese." Like, I'm like, am I really fucking doing this right now? Took a photo with him, and then fucking he takes it. Fucking wild, dude. Oh my god. But it gets better. So we go to walk out, and I'm looking around. I'm like, "Where the fuck's Manny?" He's like, "Oh, he's probably still getting food." We're like, "We'll go out to the car, wait for him." As we're walking out, this big fucking like young kid just literally is walking through the door. The building. It's like when you walk through that little aisleway door at the entrance, and then you have the glass doors on the side. There's this like big tubby looking like he's probably an adult, but he looked like a child. And he just walks in, and he stops in the middle of the front door area, and he just looked like he had fucking just Christmas immediately happened for him. And he sees Matt Riddle and goes, "Matt Riddle," and immediately Matt just goes, "Bro!" And he just like gives him a high five. I was like, "What the fuck, dude?"
That actually reminds me of.
I want to hang out with Matt.
Quick story. It reminds me.
I take back everything I said about Matt. Yeah. Matt seems like he's pretty chill to hang out with.
Years ago, I was working at the Holiday Inn over in the Alden Road, and WWE was in town. And they were staying at the Holiday Inn across the road. Back when before the casino was there. There was a Holiday Inn over there. Well, they were staying there, except not all of them could get rooms. So I'm sitting there working the overnight, and I'm typing on the computer, and I hear the door ding. And it's about a 10-second walk from the door to the front desk. So I don't look up immediately, and I'm like, and all of a sudden a shadow comes in front of me, and I'm like, holy crap, this guy's tall. And I look up, and I'm like, freaking Booker T standing in front of me. So like I get where that kid's coming from, because like you don't expect that shit, right? And then I'm sitting there going like,
this is the photo. I don't know if it'll blur out a little bit, but like I literally just like I'm this guy now. Like I only have this photo because he didn't have his phone. The kid didn't have his phone on him, so I took the photo and then sent it to his phone number. Yeah. So he has that. He never messaged me and like saying thanks. So I just sent him the photo and he just has it now. Like that's
totally Riddle too. Just go, bro.
Yeah, but that's what he did with every interaction. Like that's the funniest shit.
Like you said,
we go to get in the car, and so I ask him, like, so obviously this happens quite often. Where does this happen the most? And he goes, whatever you do, bro, don't bring me to a Walmart. For some reason, I am completely attracted to everyone in Walmart. Doesn't matter if I'm in Mississippi. Doesn't matter if I'm in California. It's just like I name all these random states. And he's like, they find me there, I will be there for hours taking photos and signing autographs. Like, I don't know what it is with them Walmart bitches, but they all want to take photos of me. It's just like all in gimmick the whole time.
Statistically speaking, where's the place that's going to have the most wrestling fans?
Walmart.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
so I thought that was kind of funny. So, okay. So to conclude my story with Cardona. So, or Cardona. Jesus Christ, Riddle. We get in the car, we drive to Augusta. The whole car ride is just Riddle talking about every fucking conspiracy you could fucking imagine. We're talking politics, we're talking outer space, we're talking fucking third world countries and lost islands. But like it just,
why does that surprise me?
Like it felt like a brain tree, like one of those like tree fucking stems. Like my brain was just fucking fogging, dude. And I'm just driving. I'm sober as a fucking whistle. Both these motherfuckers are high on a kite. And I'm just like, He just now the whole time we never stopped talking about just some random fucking shit.
How did you not get a contact high driving?
I had to have. I think I did. Honestly, like. But yeah, we got to the venue, and when we got to the venue and we pull out the gear and everything out of the back, the Kalisto then puts on his mask, walks into the door, and then realizing that there are no fans or anything that are inside at this point, he takes his mask off. So like he stayed out of gimmick all the way up until he got dressed, and even after he got dressed, he kind of kept the mask off out back until like 5 minutes before he went out. So. Like he very he just lives in his own life. Like obviously being like guys like Ray, or bigger stars like that. People that are currently in WWE, not all of them walk around with their masks. Like
I know Ray
in and out of buildings,
doing
stuff like that. Penta doesn't wear his shit. I noticed.
He does. Harry Aaron told me that actually. He says when Penta's not in gimmick, you don't know it's Penta.
Right, but like when you look at photos of him though, like when you look at Kalisto, this is fucked for me to say right now, very fucked for me to say, but like he looks like every other guy that would be like a luchador wrestler without a mask on. Like they all have that same facial structure, they all have that same kind of look, and like it's kind of fucked to say it like that. I mean, but that's the thing, you couldn't tell.
It just gets canceled.
I got you canceled. But honestly, though, like those guys can walk into a crowded room and no one will know who they are. So they're anonymity. That is it's camouflage. Still, they don't know who it is.
Dude, again, a great example of that is at the Limitless show where Lindsay Dorado was doing a seminar. We're all in the ring fucking around. No clue it was him. All of a sudden, he slides in the ring, and we all thought it was like a chaotic kid.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, like this, like Lindsay is not.
I feel like that's how Ichiban is. It's just because he's just a random chaotic kid. You probably roll in and they're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" It's Ichiban.
I thought it was like legit, like just some guy from like Chaotic or Nepal or something. That was like, "Hey guys, we all stretched out, ready to go," and all of a sudden we're like, "Oh shit, you're Lindsay."
Oh.